Hey, what's cracking, guys? Here again to do another video. This one is going to be on the Sage 1, 2, and 3. Just a little comparison video here to kind of show off the differences between the Sage series. Up here we got the Sage 1 box, the numbers on there, Sage 2, and then of course the Sage 3. Apologize if this is blurry. Not have the best camera, and I like spending my money on knives. Unfortunately, not a new camera to use, but anyway, that's besides the point. Get down here to the material. We have the, I guess I should do this in order, huh? Sage 1, Sage 2, and Sage 3, and obviously instantly you know that they are all similar yet different. Similar because they are virtually the same knife, being design-wise. Different because of the materials used and the slight placement. There are subtle differences. The Sage series is dedicated to different locking mechanisms created by different innovators over the years, and Spyderco, I think, was genius by doing this because it's giving respect to other makers and other brand companies, which is pretty stand up considering they are competition. Giving your competitor props doesn't necessarily help your business, but in this case I think it does. Anyways, getting to the actual knives, the first one is the Spyderco Sage 1, which is dedicated to Michael Walker, who is the original innovator of the oh so popular liner lock. You can see here, liner lock clicking into place. And they try to use materials similar to that of that maker, and he was a fan of carbon fiber, and obviously using his innovation of the liner lock. Put this down a little bit. And so we're rocking a 3D textured carbon fiber and the Michael Walker liner lock S30V blade. All of them use S30V full flat grind. Jimping on top of the thumb ramp and in the finger choil. Just a ridiculously comfortable knife. Very comfortable. And they all rep a wire clip for tip up only, and it's a left and right side carry, and that's for the entire Sage series. So that's pretty much what you're gonna find. The Sage series is gonna be a full flat ground, kind of a spear point, modified spear point leaf shaped blade, made from S30V, CPM S30V, and it's gonna have this exact handle design with the nice palm swell and the finger choil here, and this deep carry wire clip. And from there on, you'll see the subtle differences. So that is the Sage 1 Michael Walker. Next in line of the Sage series was the Sage 2, which is the they're giving thanks and respect to Chris Reeve for his Reeve Integral Lock. A lot of people just call them frame locks. It's like the generic term, but if you want to give respect to where respect is due, you consider a frame lock a Reeve Integral Lock, because he is indeed the innovator of this lock. Basically, he just went off of Michael Walker's idea of the liner lock, and wanted to thicken it, beef it up, and created the frame lock, which doesn't even require scales. Just one thick bar of titanium. That's what he chose. Once again, S30V blade, full flat grind, CPM S30V. It's got the finger choil with jimping on top of the thumb ramp below. And obviously same exact handle design, just with the titanium this time. Full titanium frame lock, or Reeve Integral Lock. Wire clip, this one is silver, or just regular color of the metal they use, versus the black anodized of that on the Sage 1. And this one, you also notice that the clip here is a little offset, that way it's not in the way of the lock bar here. So instead of the clip leaning over the lock bar, it is kind of angled to the side. That way it's not in the way of this cutout here. So that's kind of cool. And up next in the line, we have the newest addition to the Sage series, Sage family, and that is the Sage 3. They use blue G10. I believe this is the same blue they used for the Sprint Run Manix version, kind of a Smurf blue people were calling it. And this one is giving respect to Blackie Collins for the bolt action lock, and that is the lock you see here. Basically how it works is, as the blade opens, you can see in the back of the blade here, there's much of the metal missing, because as the blade opens, these tabs here pull back, and as it closes, it moves forward, and it's pushing a rod forward. Excuse me, guys, getting a call here. Yes, anyway, so with that bolt action lock, you pull back and it pushes the pin out, and you're going to be able to close the knife. And like you said, once it opens and this pushes forward, that is just the piston or bar moving forward behind the blade tang here, giving it a nice lock. Very smooth. It is ambidextrous, so you can use your left hand to open and close the knife quite easily. The lock is a little bit tight to do one-handed. I prefer to use both fingers like this, but it is doable. Very smooth. And I don't know if it's a matter of fact or if it's just a rumor on the forum, but I heard the reason why they went with a blue G10 was because Blackie Collins originally incorporated his innovation of the bolt action lock with a FRN handle. And so by dyeing the G10 blue or creating blue G10, it gave it more of a look of FRN, even though it is indeed G10. So that's kind of that history. And of course, flat grind, full flat grind of CPM S30B, finger choils and jimping on both sides, wire clip, reversible for tip up only, left and right, and this one's a plain metal. And on this one you can see the pocket lip is kind of lifted a little bit. It's not quite touching the scales. I don't know if everyone is like that or if it's just mine because it's slightly used. But it doesn't bother me. It still slides in nice, and because it's so deep, I don't really fear it falling out of my pocket. And if I wanted to, I can bend it down a little bit. So, anyways, guys, those are the Sage series. They all use torque screw construction, same design handle-wise and blade-wise, and just different locks. Just one last thing I want to point out is that on the Sage 3, the Sage 3 handle is actually a bit bigger than that of the Sage 1 and also the Sage 2. And so reason being is because the making of this lock was a bit more difficult to incorporate than the simple liner and frame lock or reeve integral lock. So in order to incorporate this Blackie Collins bolt action lock, they had to increase the size of the handle a bit. And just another quick note, this is the first Sage to have a full back G10 solid spacer in comparison to the open construction of the Sage 2 and open construction of the Sage 1. Alright guys, I hope this was enjoyable, not too long here, and just want to do another video here when I have time. Alright guys, we'll see you around.